Hey shopkeepers. Today we're going to talk about a achievement that's giving people some trouble, but there's easy ways to get past this achievement. You just have to know how to get past the achievement. So let's talk about it. The achievement that I'm talking about is called Con Artist. Basically, the achievement says sell an item at 300% markup through the haggling minigame. Not a very rare achievement according to the Steam, the little rarity thing that they do. But I still see a lot of people asking this question. How do I get that achievement? The minigame is making me type in 30 different letters in 5 seconds. I can't do that. That's impossible. Well, true. If you do it that way, it's going to be really difficult. So first things first, let me show you where to activate the haggling minigame. If you come over to your sign, you should already know this. You have shop policies. You turn on this one, silver tongue. It'll replace the flat chance. It'll replace that with a haggling minigame. Let's say we put this knife for sale and we open our store. I'm going to close it so only one customer comes in. He is going to grab this knife or the cash register. And now what people normally do or try to do is up this chance all the way to 300. 300%, that's what they want, right? However, if you do that, as you can see, this is a lot. Not going to be able to do that even if you're like a master typer. No. And that's why people are like, what the heck, that minigame is impossible. However, I'm going to put that same knife on display right now. Also, for the record, I currently do not have any other shop policies active. That will be important later. I'm going to open the shop again. Let another customer come in, let another customer try and buy the knife. Okay, we've enticed a customer to come in and buy our knife. Just gonna pick up the knife. And now see some interesting things that we didn't see before. So the base price of this knife is $49. However, as you can see over here, there's a couple things that are increasing the price of this knife already. This is 75. Now that's almost 200% already. So that tells you that you don't need to increase this price to 300. No. We want 300 of the $49, which would be 120 plus 27, 147. Now that's still going to be a little tricky, but as you can see, it should only be 196. This is still too much for me. You could probably do this, but it's too much for me. So what do we want to do? We want to bump up those, that like basic increase of the price so that they, so that we don't have to bump up the price anymore, so that it's automatically always 300%. Now, there's a couple policies that'll help us with that. Let's have a look at them. There are a lot of policies, and either they will give you a flat dollar amount on top, or they will give you a percentage on top. So for the flat dollar amounts, this is one of the earliest ones you unlock. All items have a 1% increase to their base price. Let's activate that. And this one, another 1%, or not 1%, $1, sorry, so $1 increase. And here, another $1 increase. So we've already got a $2 increase. Let's keep that in mind. Next, what else do we have? A $5 increase if their patience is higher than 75%. Now we're up to a $7 increase. We have some more in this area as well. A specialty item. This adds another 10% to the sell price of an item. A specialty category. This is another 10%. And then we have 10% for, let's say, common items. I could go for uncommon, which is 15 or 20, but I'm going to stick with common items since those are a little bit easier to come by, especially if you want to sell things like food or clothing. So, that's another 10% more. Small operations, small items sell for a flat $5 more. And let's see what else can we do here. Well, if we had like clothing or drinks, we could do that as well. Do I have any drinks on me? I have drinks and food on me, but they're a little bit expensive. Let's leave those off for now. Let's see if we can do it without these two. All right, over here. There's a couple more still. $5 more when their comfort need is greater than 75%. Activate that. This one. $10 more when their beauty need higher, 75%. There we go. Now what do we need to activate these? We need to make sure that they don't have low comfort, and we need to make sure that the place is absolutely beautiful. Now, if we wanted to make the place not very beautiful, we would go with utilitarian. That's 20% increase. It's pretty good, but for this achievement, I find that the flat dollar values are slightly more reasonable. So let's make this place very comfy and very beautiful. Okay, so we have a couple seats for them to sit on, and we have a couple of bonsais to pretty up the place. Now, this is obviously kind of ugly looking, but this is just to show the mechanics off. So next, we're not going to sell a knife because a knife is, it's not expensive, but $49 base price. Let's go with a piece of bamboo. Still small, and it only costs $2. So as soon as we add some dollar amounts on top, it's already going to be a huge increase in price. How can we boost that up even more? We have these specialty items and specialty categories. Now, bamboo is a raw material. It might also count as plant material or plant, maybe. I'm going to just go with raw material. So let's select raw material as our specialty. Then let's drag the bamboo from our hotbar to the specialty items as well. So now the bamboo is boosted by both its category and the fact that it's on promo, basically. So we've done all these things to make sure that this sale is absolutely amazing. So let's open the shop. Old man Jenkins over here is coming inside. He's being a little disoriented by the possums. And now let's look at this sales price. Look at that. So the base price is increased to $9 because of the category, whatever the calculated sales means, risk management, whatever that means, and express service, because he immediately went to the item and came to the cash register. Now, as you can tell, this is almost 500% increase. So even with just this, we should be able to get the achievement. I've already gotten the achievement on my account, so it's not going to pop up, but you can see that this is pretty much enough. And then we have another 171%, which isn't too much for the bamboo because, a percentage of a low number is a low amount of dollars. But this is going to add another 171%. Now, he doesn't like bamboo, so that cuts the price by 20%. However, he has high patience, high beauty, shop rating is high, and then we have some extra specialty categories and items and all that stuff, which gives some more bonuses. So this case of bamboo went from $2 or $4 all the way to $25. That is way more than the 300% we need. We're just going to offer it to him at 100. So, not even an increase. And he buys it. Perfect. Now, of course, the mini game does need to actually proc. So we're going to do one more, and we're actually going to do the mini game this time. All right. We've got our victim. They are interested in our bamboo. Once again, it's been bumped up to $25. We're going to just increase it by one more dollar, just so that the mini game pops up. And as you can see, this time, it's just 4 buttons. There we go. And that is how you get the achievement for selling something at 300% value. You do not need to bump up the price on the cash register to 300%. You simply need to make sure that by the time the customer arrives at the cash register, the value of this item is already 300%. Or at least close to it, so you only need to bump it once or twice with the cash register. Now, this is the bamboo cash register. Other cash registers will give you another increase to your sales. I'm not entirely sure if that counts towards the percentage, but just in case you want to make money, that's a good thing to keep in mind, that the cash register also impacts the price. There we go. You should now be able to quite easily, or at least after you've leveled your shop a bit, you should be able to quite easily get the achievement. So I hope you enjoyed this guide. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on the comment section of this guide or on the official Discord where I am always hanging out. And I wish you a happy day. Bye.